Do commissioners have immunity if they speed?
No,
I'm asking just for now or just for Is that what that is?
No.
Okay.
got the answer.
I knew the answer, but I was just wondering what your answer was. So, good Democrat back there.
Why don't we call this meeting to order?
And for point of clarification, I'm nothing now.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, please guide us today as we contemplate the county's business. Allow your spirit in our hearts as we contemplate best actions for our constituents. In your name we pray. Amen. Roll call.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kushner?
Minutes, I'll accept a motion to approve the digital audio-video recording of the previous board session from Thursday, January 23rd, 2020.
So moved.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Kushner? Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes. Okay, we have some appointments, so we will let them go first. Kelly is here. Kelly is our dog warden. Good morning.
Morning.
And every year I tell her, bring in a dog, and every year she doesn't.
This morning I was chasing dogs right before we came here. And I had to go chase dogs with goodness.
Aww.
There we go.
Is that a dog for adoption?
Yeah, well, tomorrow she becomes available for adoption. Her name's Sassy. She's your guess is as good as mine. Her tail curls like all the way around her.
She's your guess is as good as mine. Huh?
All American Labahoo.
I like that one.
All right.
Come and get her, Stacy.
Oh, no. You've already got me for
Which one
6.
do you want up?
6?
Let's see.
Over the years. Oh. I only have 2 now.
Somebody has a problem.
No, only 2 now, but all.
I'm really good at sappy stories.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Stacy, I gotta put her down. Can you come look at her?
Right.
I don't buy it anymore.
Right.
I don't go out.
Okay.
All right, so I just came to do my end of the year report. This year we handled 282 complaints. We picked up 163 dogs. Of those 163, we returned 73. We adopted out 63, and we euthanized 28 of them. 2 of them were others, so that means they were probably sick, maybe passed away during transport or at the shelter. We transferred 0 dogs to the Humane Society, and we issued 21 citations this year. Total dog tags, I'm not 100% if that's right or not, because the way that we sell dog tags. So for 1-year tags, we sold 9,601, and 157 3-year and 25 permanent. So total it was 9,783 possibly, but the reason that I don't know the whole complete total is because of the 3-year and the permanent tags are for 10 years. So we could have sold a 2020 or 2019 tag 3 years ago, and it would track possibly somewhere else in the system because they would be getting a different year tag, so they would have a different tag. And I didn't have time to ask Julie what the exact count was. So goals for this year for my office, we obviously want to increase the dog license sales, increase our adoptions, dispose of all of our records when they're approved. I just did the record retention and sent it to Nikki a couple weeks ago, so we're not sitting on piles of paper anymore. Go to at least 2 State Dog Warden Association meetings. I'm scheduled to go in February to 1. Continue our established relationship with the police department, sheriff's department to better understand our department. And what we're doing new for 2020, we're going to purchase new computer systems and update our software. We're trying to go paperless like everybody else. The Shelter Pro system that we use has this really neat keypad where people can sign off their papers and their dogs right there. So that'll obviously help us go paperless. We just put in a new softener and system. It was a little expensive, but it seems to be working, and the water doesn't stink as of right now, so that's very, very exciting because we're on well water. Then we're looking to update our trucks for our fleet. We do that every 5 years or so, and it looks like this year's gonna be our year. We're also working on putting in a Sally port, which we've been working on for a couple years, and hopefully this is the year for that. And then we're starting this year is a new license program. It's new to us, so any dog that is picked up with an actual dog license on, current, so 2020 dog license or beyond, because there's the 3-year and the permanent, we are going to waive the redemption and boarding fee for the first day. So you lose your dog first day, you call, it has a license on, then we're not gonna charge you that boarding and impound. Already when we pick up a dog with a license, we have that information on us. A lot of people will call and say, oh, I got this dog, it has this tag number on here, who's the owner, I'll take it back. Great. In the meantime, we're already calling the owner and saying, hey, Joe Schmo has your dog, go get it from him. So that kind of saves us in being involved in it, not that we don't want to, but it saves the trip out there. So once we get the dog, because sometimes people will call and they never touched the dog, so we don't know that it has a license on, we're immediately looking up the license number and contacting whoever's on it. The biggest thing we see is that phone numbers, people change their phone numbers constantly. Our cell phones come up restricted, so we call them, and nobody answers a restricted phone call anymore. So we call you 3, 4, 5 times, and eventually you think, oh, I should answer that, so that we can get the dog back home before having to impound it at our office. So if we do have to end up impounding it, as long as you call that same day, we're gonna release it back to you at no charge, as long as there's no major incident with it, like being in livestock or on the roadway, trying to be hit by a car, or causing any trouble. So that's what we're trying to do new for this year. So that's all I got. Questions?
Bill, Tony, just
Yeah, go ahead.
when you're a commissioner and you stop out and see Kelly, just be prepared. She'll be like, "What's the matter?" She goes, "What? Commissioners don't come out and see me. There's a problem." I'm like, "I'm just stopping in to see what you have in here." I'm like saying hello.
Right.
So, but I'm gonna warn you.
Right. It'll be,
That's good.
why are you here?
Why are you here? But it's always good. I'm going to warn you though, Commissioner Paradiso knows a lot about dogs. His daughter owns a dog business.
Yeah, she has a boarding business.
In Seneca County?
No,
Oh.
out of state, but the whole family has dogs, so we're
There you go.
You always need another one. You gotta fill in the spot.
I do have a couple questions, if I may.
Sure.
So if 10,000 dogs have licenses, how many don't have licenses?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Is there any guess?
Probably a couple thousand would be my guess. In the summertime, once it gets nice out, we'll start door to doors. So we'll literally go knock on your doors. We see signs of a dog being there. Signs are easy. You let your dog out your front door. What do? You leave your chain there. Well, our computer system that we have for our dog licenses, we can run a whole entire street. We can run a whole entire town. So literally I can do Madison Street and I can tell you who has a dog license on Madison Street. So I can narrow that down very quickly and easily. So we'll stop at the houses. Oh, you got dog bowls outside in a dog house? Oh, there's no license here. We'll knock on your door. We'll leave door hangers so you don't answer your door. So that's how we're trying to get our dog licenses increased, along with, if we come back, we'll issue you a citation. I issue you a citation, it's a minor misdemeanor, so it's a $25 to $100 fine first offense. Then what do? You're mad, right? So you go and tell your 5 friends, man, dog warden was here and she wrote me a ticket for not having a dog license, right? So what do your 5 friends do? They run and buy their dog license. Usually Julie up at the auditor's office can tell where we're at, where we're dog license checking. So, oh, you're in Fostoria, aren't you? And I'm like, yep. We used to do alerts in the newspaper like, oh, we're going to be in this township or this township, and we just haven't done that in the last couple years. A lot of it's just been door to door. So.
Okay, then, the auditor sends your notices out for the dog license, right?
Yes.
Is that what the auditor, okay. And then explain your funding to us, if you would. How do you get your funding from these dog licenses?
Okay, so I'm not paid by tax dollars. My fund is the Dog and Kennel Fund, and it's completely consistent of dog license fees. So the dog license fees go into the Dog and Kennel Fund. The commissioners can't use that for other things. It's solely just the dog warden's office. So the Dog and Kennel Fund pays our wages, does our trucks, supports everything that we do at the shelter, supports all the care for the animals. The Dog and Kennel Fund, though, is made up of other things besides the licenses. It also has our citations, donations, boarding and impound fees, our redemption fees, but our biggest two are license fees and fines. So,
Thanks.
No
That's
problem.
good.
Yeah.
Question
questions?
of Tony, you done, Tony? or-
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
So what is the procedure, so you find a dog that's, nobody knows whose it is, what's the procedure, you pick it up, then what are the steps then?
so then the dog's impounded, it's considered a stray, which sometimes you say stray and everybody's like, what's a stray dog? So for me, a stray dog is a dog that is picked up with no license on. We impound it into our kennels. So the shelter has 28 kennels. Everything's been redone. You'll have to come out and see it. We've redone everything in the last probably 7 years. So after it's impounded, we do complaints. We generate a report. We put that into our system. And then we have to hold the dog for 3 days, 72 hours, if it does not have a license on. If it has a license on, it's a completely different story. So 3 days for us, we don't count the first day in. So if I pick a dog up on Monday, it goes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, out my door Friday. So on Friday, I get to make the decision of, is this dog adoptable or is this dog something that should be euthanized? We don't count weekends, we don't count holidays. So if we're not there, the day usually is not counted. We do have an answering machine that runs 24/7. So anybody at any time can call and say, hey, I'm missing my dog. After that 3 days is up, decision's made. Are we adopting it out? Yes. All right, so what do? It depends. Something that's purebred, cute, and fluffy, somebody's already came in and seen that dog. So they're already coming at Friday at 8:30 in the morning to adopt that dog. Sassy up there, she's gonna be a hard one just because she's a pit bull mix. So we'll post her up on Facebook. We just ordered from MLAD bandanas. So we're gonna have these cute little bandanas that say adopt me to make the dog stick out in our pictures. And I was gonna stop and grab them to show you guys, look, we can put this on our dog, but I didn't have time to do that. So we post them up on Facebook. Our Facebook page, we can't monitor it 24/7. We just don't have time, and that's put on there. Hey, call us. Call us, leave a message if we're not there. My department consists of 2 people. We're in and out of there constantly, so we tell everybody, leave a message, leave a message. I can check that from anywhere. So like I can call and check my answering machine right now and tell you what I have going on there. So you come in, you want to adopt the dog, we let you play with it. Yay, let's play with the dog. If you have other dogs, as long as they're up to date on shots, you're more than welcome to bring your other dog in. Let's make sure they get along, because if they get along here, most likely they'll get along at home, but if they're not getting along at the shelter, they're not going to get along at home. We also say bring in your kids. Your kid's not going to ruin anything that other kids haven't already. So it's one of those.
You give them shots too for the killing, right?
Well, a lot of times we'll hear, are they good with kids? I have 3 kids, so my kids are generally the kid dog testers. I've been there for 16 years. My oldest is almost 18, and my youngest is 5. So they've been raised there. So it's one of those, oh, we know not to touch this, don't go near that. But sometimes, I don't have a chance to, like this one, I hopefully will move Friday, so I won't know if it was good with kids or not. So you come in, the adoption process is very easy. It costs $30, 15's for license, 15's for the dog. All of our dogs are adopted out as is. They're all strays. We don't know their past history. We don't know their shot history. We don't know anything about them other than what we've observed in those 3 days. So a lot of times you can tell, oh, this one's probably got worms, or this one is food aggressive, or this one's, there's something wrong with it. It's doing this, this, or that. And I'm very honest there. Sometimes I think that hurts me because if I wouldn't put it in my home, I'm not going to put it in yours. The problem with that, though, is because I have those 3 kids, I'm a lot more, oh, this one's really jumpy. I do a 4-H club that we train dogs in, so I'm very used to very well-trained dogs. So I will always tell the people, oh, this one's really jumpy. You got a 2-year-old, I would be very careful because the dog's going to jump up on the kid, and then is your kid going to be scared of the dogs? Or we'll have people bring their kids in and the kids just don't match with the dogs, but we can't tell people that, we can't tell people that. So you pay your $30, you walk out the door, you get your license. Sometimes we can actually give you your license, that just depends if we have them. And then sometimes your license comes to you in the mail, and then you have a dog. So, very easy. Do you need one?
Do you have a scanner to read chips?
Yes. Everything's microchip scanned when it comes in. It's a courtesy that we offer. It's not required by law. If the dog is extremely aggressive and trying to attack us and the microchip scanner, it's a hit and miss. So, I mean, scanning dogs, in the years that I've been there, I've seen 3, and 2 of them migrated to where they weren't supposed to be. So, best thing is put your license on your dog. Anybody can read that at any time, and your dog license information's online. So find a dog, call my office, you get the answering machine, you're gonna hear, you can look up dog license online at the auditor's office website, and I mean, it's very easy to use, and I can do all of that on my phone too. The police departments also have access to our licensing system, so if Joe Schmo finds a dog after hours, they call and it has a license on, then the police department can give the information.
And that works very well, because I was Joe Schmo one day and found a dog member, and I called and you gave me the address, and I was able to take the dog back to him. The lady was very, very thankful. It was an older dog.
Right, and a lot of times we'll get calls in and we're already running your area as you're talking to me. So right now I'm working a case that has 2 German Shepherds, and they're out on 18. And so for me, I can run 18. Who's got 2 Shepherds registered? Oh, 15 does. Township Road 15 has 2. It's just right around the corner. So I already know who the dog owner is because they have the dogs licensed. I just don't have their correct information because the phone number's not right. So I've been at my office, any license that I sell or adoptions that I'm doing, I'm asking for 2 phone numbers. Oh, can I get another phone number? They can put it in the system at the auditor's office, and for me it makes my job just a tiny bit easier every single time. So anything else?
Thank you.
If you guys wanted to look at her budget over the last couple of years, if you notice, we budget quite a bit more than we have for a couple of years, but that is purely the Sally Port. We just haven't gotten around to do that. We were making that a priority today to at least get some plans and drawings and prices on it. So
That's good. Thank you for all you do.
No problem. I'm gonna go chase some shepherds.
like the logo.
I did. I love that.
Yeah,
I
did you
did notice
see it?
that. I like that a lot. Yeah, you get extra credit for that.
Yes, she had already got her
Watermark.
cards made. So
Yeah.
next time cards get done.
That is,
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Hey Kelly,
Start.
can you send me the photo of Sassy so I can put it with the press release?
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Nikki's got it.
And the other dog I have is a coonhound. It's a tree walker, but I have a guy who is going to be there Friday at 8:30. And if he does not get to adopt this dog, then he's going to be very, very upset. He literally told me he loved me 4 different times yesterday. It's very scary.
Just like being a commissioner.
Oh, I hear that all the time. Something like that.
So you can come to my job for a minute. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks,
All
Kelly.
right. We have another guest who's not on the agenda, but Trustee Kevin Oni is here. He's going to come up and adopt Sassy.
What a guy.
I think my wife would say no.
For you.
Congratulations on your recent election.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
appreciate you serving.
Yep. That's one thing I wanted to say. It's a pleasure to serve my community. You know, I've been thinking about it for a long time, and one of our former trustees was John Good. You know, he's my next door neighbor, and he was such a great man, and I admired him so much, and I want to do as good a job as he does. So, in the interest of our community, I wrote a resolution, and the title is Resolution in Opposition of the Republic Wind Project and any future industrial wind turbine projects. Whereas the Thompson Township trustees have heard citizens' requests to intervene against the Republic Wind Project, and whereas the previous trustees chose not to intervene despite multiple pleas from citizens of Thompson Township who presented evidence supporting their claims, including damaging and upsetting differential karst areas, which may cause flooding issues and contamination of residential wells, decimation of bird population, bat populations, shadow flicker, infrasound, loss of property values, etc. And whereas changing Thompson Township's viewscape from scenic rural to industrial sprawl, danger to aircraft, including light flight and aerial crop applications, the danger of ice accumulation of the blades being thrown, and whereas this Board of Thompson Township Trustees is not convinced that over the life of the project, that granting the pilot would benefit the community. Likewise, with respect to job creation, the Thompson Township trustees are not convinced that the amount of taxes abated would be exceeded by the benefit of gaining relatively few permanent employees, and now therefore it be hereby resolved by the Thompson Township trustees that due to overwhelming objections to the wind projects expressed by township citizens to this board and the board's opinion, the tax revenues from such projects do not begin to offer fair compensation for the degradation of living conditions in the heavy industrial zone to which the township will be transformed by such development, the board opposes the construction of industrial wind turbines by the public wind project and any future industrial wind turbine project that may arise. I mean, that's part of what got me elected was the citizens that were really against these projects, and I'm a very fair man, and you know, as you know, Troy Warner resigned,
Yeah.
and I made the motion to reappoint the person that I beat, Dave Ziegler, so, because I think Dave's a good man, you know, so.
Dave
I took a lot of heat for that.
I was at that
Well,
meeting,
yeah.
and I thought it was a very professional meeting. The prosecutor was there.
I was grateful.
Many citizens were there, pro-win, but as you mentioned in that meeting, we all are part of Thompson Township.
That's correct, we're all one community, yeah.
And I thought it was handled very professionally.
And you know, Dave is a good man. He congratulated me on my victory and everything, and wanted me to start right away. And I had no idea that Troy was going to resign, and so.
We do have that in common, where we were thrust into the position.
Okay, and when I get the signed version, I can get it transferred over to you guys.
Yeah, you
Just
need to
get it
notify the
prepared.
prosecutor that you've changed your status.
Send it to the prosecutor.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because then you'll join
The
the
other
rest of the
townships.
political subdivision. I don't know what action will be next, you know, I mean, it's at final hearings at our siting board, so I don't know that there's gonna be another step, but we'll see as that plays out,
Okay.
but,
And you know, the commissioners support House Bill 401 and Senate Bill 234, which would just basically give your township, Adams Township, Pleasant Township, all the townships in the state, the people could choose.
Sure.
Yes or no, and so we support that, and that's working its way through, you know, the system, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
all right. Do you know where the dog warden's office is at?
Yeah, we know. We're 4-H advisors too, so.
Okay.
Introduce your wife for us.
Oh, this is my wife, Jennifer.
And
We've been married for 28 years and lived in, well, in fact, we got married in the front yard in our Thompson Township home. So.
Oh, wow.
so when you're out plowing snow, she'll be home
Oh, yeah.
worried about you.
She'll have the coffee ready for when I get back.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, that's part of the duties of a township wife, they're supposed to prepare breakfast for the guys out plowing snow and stuff too. Missed that
I'll
part.
get you Forget the breakfast.
All right, administrators report.
Couple of things. As you know, sometimes our board meetings clash with the judges.
Yeah.
The judges have asked to come in next week, and he's asked if the board would be available to do our session at 4
Okay.
instead of at 10. They want to come in, and they must have gotten their signage that they're looking at for the Justice Center. They want to come in and talk about that, and also we've done some research. Jimmy's done some research on the Indigent Council, and I think the judge wants to address us on that. So
They want to hear our year in review?
yeah, they want to hear our year in review.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
So if that's okay, we'll have our next meeting at 4 o'clock here.
Will you check with Mike?
Yes, Mike said it was
Okay.
okay. I texted him and he said it was
Okay.
okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Probably the strangest hour we've had.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have on the agenda,
But
which
do
I want.
thank them for being accommodating.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So the public, I think the public realizes that Thursdays, the judges are in
Pivot.
pivot court, so they're kind of in lockdown over there, and it's every Thursday. So this would be right after that, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We have on the agenda. We're going to set time and date for The farm, I only have a question. The first year we did the farm lease up to the county home, we did it for a 1 year. I didn't know with all of the activity and projects we've got potentially in the works, do we want to just do another 1 year? Or do we want to go more into a long-term?
Personally, I think we pop it for 1 more year. We also have,
Evaluate from there.
yeah, Mark Zimmerman wants to extend his fence out there.
Oh,
So we need to have a conversation of what that means for tillable acres, because it might cut
If
off
any,
a
yeah, it
couple.
might, yeah.
I mean, it's planted behind there, but I don't know that we need to do it this time around,
okay.
but within a cycle, we wanna take out whatever that, it's a couple acres for sure.
Okay.
He's just out of storage room,
Oh, okay.
so.
So then we're okay with at least doing 1 year?
Doing a 1 year,
Okay.
but
Then we'll
we
have
might
to
wanna
plan
grab
it.
Mark and just say what kind of our acres and then deduct those off for what.
Off this, so do you want us to hold off setting time and date? Cause when were you gonna advertise?
This weekend.
This
'cause the
weekend?
lease is up in April, I believe.
So we have a little,
Oh,
we-
Mark can wait.
Can we wait a week, cause I'm meeting Mark actually Monday, have a meeting with him, I'll ask him.
will that hurt the time if we wait till next
Just
week?
push it back further.
Push it back a week? Okay,
Well, because we have to post it and everything.
Yeah.
right, we have to have so many days after we've set our resolution
Well,
and
that-
after we advertise.
Yeah, I mean, the farmer, they probably wanna plan and get
Yeah,
started too.
we got a late start last year.
Let's do a year, and if Mark wants to expand, he'll just have to
Do it after
do it after
August.
the crops are off or something,
Okay.
yeah. Is that okay? So,
Yeah.
And I'll leave that one in.
Okay.
An update on, we had the museum meeting last night, I don't know if you were gonna give an update, I was just gonna.
Go ahead.
They approved their Seneca County Museum Collection Development Policy. They're gonna get me a final copy of it and their new donation form to get to, I'm gonna get it to Derek before I send it to you guys for review. So probably in the next couple weeks, we'll be discussing it, but it's a policy they've been working on for quite a while. So I think they agreed to it yesterday, so just wanna make sure everything's okay with the legal side of it, so,
You're good, right?
Yeah.
yep, he attended. I'll probably be bringing a request next week in. We need to move forward with the projects that were in that state capital grant that we got. The total grant was for $50,000.
Last year.
And Charlene had said that I think it's her date was it done by the end of the first quarter. So we got updates from the company that's doing the security and the cameras, Be Safe, and to get the contract ready, which I think they're ready. And then Tanya's getting the contracts from the contractors, make sure that their prices are still good. Foundation is gonna be committing to some of the 25,000s. So the grant total was 50, we get 25. The Civil War Museum gets 25, and then, but we had to have a match, so it's 25. So we're using the first 25 for the construction projects on the carriage house, and the second project to get our 50 was the security cameras.
So we, the county has to have a match, the Civil War doesn't?
No, they do too.
They
They're,
do too,
yep.
so they're doing their own thing.
They're doing their own thing,
Okay.
yep.
Right.
But when it was submitted together. We had to do an amendment to kind of separate it because we have no authority over the Civil War Museum. They're their own entity.
So I'm just assuming they need to follow our timeline.
Yes,
So their
yep.
board is doing their thing.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, they're getting their stuff taken care of too. And so our match, the project we put in was the camera system over at the museum. The foundation, Barnes Deinzer Museum Foundation, they're gonna meet this month, and they've agreed to help us with our match. The museum in our general fund has some money left over from their contributions and their leases that they've done, that they've agreed to put towards it. So I'm hoping by next week I'll have what dollar amount we need to move forward with that.
Fill the gap.
To fill the gap, yep.
Okay.
Plus or minus 10, probably.
Yeah, yep,
Range.
yep.
So-
I think that's all I got.
Yeah, and that's really a collaborative project, you know, we've got the state, the county, the foundation, the Historic Society, the museum, everybody's working together. And it's a small project, because projects go 50,000, but
To them, it's.
it's good, yeah, it's a carriage house, and so we, you know, I appreciate everybody's tenacity and staying with that. Regional planning kind of sorted it out and
Yes.
got it back on track, because it was not moving for a while. The only other thing that I had was congratulations to T-Step and Tiffin Downtown. They got their accreditation from Heritage Ohio. So I spent the other day going through the accreditation process, and Tony was there, and that culminated in approval of Tiffin Downtown Heritage Ohio accreditation, which is big. I mean, there's only 22 across the state, and so it's a lot of work. It's checking a lot of boxes, doing a lot of things, and it's a really good program, and they bring a lot of resources, but you have to be active in it.
I was impressed with, it was the first time I attended a meeting, and the room was full of people, and the man hours, the volunteer
Yeah.
man hours that go into that are, it's just mind-boggling. Committee chairs, all the hard work, there's a lot of people working on downtown. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. And of course, you know, we help fund part of that.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I think it's money well spent.
So,
I just have one item to report on, and that's our safety letter that came back.
yeah, that's a good one.
So Kevin, you can appreciate this. I was at a Scipio Township trustee meeting right after the accident at 224 and 67 occurred, and they asked me to come back to the commissioners and if we would write a letter. So we all got together, Ken Majors, EMS, we called Mark Zimmerman, the engineer, we got all our statistics together, and we sent ODOT in Columbus a letter asking them to do a study at that intersection. They replied rather quickly. I mean, in a couple weeks, we get a reply back, and if I may, I'll just highlight that, the contact text of the letter, but St. County Commissioners and other traffic safety partners, we are writing in response to your request to improve safety at US Route 224 and State Route 67 intersection in Seneca County. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We will conduct a study of the US 224 State Route 67 intersection this spring. The study will include the most 5 recent years crash data, traffic volume data, includes motorized vehicles, pedestrians, bicycles, turn lane analysis, alternate forms of traffic control, including but not limited to multi-way stop, traffic signal, roundabout. We will send you the follow-up email as the results of the study once it's complete. So they're going to do a detailed study, and they're going to act on it this spring. So I want to thank Scipio for bringing it up to our attention, but also Ken and EMS and Mark Zimmerman, county engineer, for helping us put the letter together. So very positive. That's all I have.
All right, old business, none, new business?
New business. I have a couple requests. Let's see. I have a request from Regional Planning. They need a supplemental appropriation for the end of the year transfer of funds from the sewer district to the replacement and improvement fund for the requirements of the USDA loan. So they're putting $1,110.68 into their transfers outline. I have a request from juvenile probate court. They need a supplemental appropriation for their public guardian life insurance premiums. Guessing they just didn't budget enough. They need $27.60 into their hospitalization line. I have a request from Common Pleas 2. They need an additional $50,000 in other expense for their, which one is this one? Their general special projects fund, and it says additional funds needed for the remainder of 2020 for expenses. Guessing they just didn't get that in the budget. She doesn't have an explanation. And the same thing for their TCAP grant funding. She's requesting $20,257 in contract services, and it says additional funds needed for the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board. So I'm guessing it's a new grant that she didn't get in her budget. And I think that's the only ones I have.
So we're not, it's not general fund money.
No. I have resolution authorizing a contract service agreement with Huron County Board of Commissioners for the receipt, custody, and care of Huron County juveniles on behalf of the Seneca County Youth Center. I have a resolution appointing Attorney Dave LaRocco as special prosecutor on behalf of the Seneca County Prosecutor's Office. It just says requesting special prosecutor in a criminal investigation and prosecution due to a conflict of interest with the prosecutor's office. I have a resolution setting time, date, and place to receive sealed bids for 164 passenger yellow school bus for the Seneca County Opportunity Center. This will be on Thursday, February 27th, 2020, at 10:30 a.m. here at the Commissioner's office. And I have resolution authorizing the FY20 FAA Airport Improvement Program pre-application for land acquisition, Seneca County Airport, and authorizing Shane Thomas, President of the Board, to sign the pre-application and other related documentations on behalf of the Board. And then I have the resolution setting time, date to accept sealed bids for the lease of the farmland situated in the Township of Eden, County of Seneca, State of Ohio. This will be at February 27th, 2020 at 10:15 a.m. here at the Commissioner's office. And we will get the language changed so it says 1 year. And those are all I have.
Did I not print one off for Jean?
No, I don't have. You have one for Jean?
Yeah. It's for her case management system.
Oh, the grant she got?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about that last time, right?
Yep. Yep.
Two things. One, do we get detail on the special projects funds, the judge's fees fund?
No, but I can. I think.
Yeah, I mean, just moving 50,000 and just saying other expenses, I think there needs,
Okay.
that we should have some more
Okay.
clarity what that is.
Yep.
You know, that's a lot of money to move.
Yep.
And then on the special prosecutor, do we get any further information on that?
Not
Because
usually.
I can't recall seeing a special prosecutor appointment.
Oh yeah, we've usually someone in the prosecutor's office. Let's see if this talks about their request.
Yeah, you know, I obviously defer to Derek as
Right.
to whether or not
That
there's a
money-
comment.
That comes out of his budget.
Well, it comes out of the general fund.
Do we have to, is this extra money?
Well, he has a line item for that.
That's what I mean, he has a
But-
line
but-
item, we still pay for it, it's like Kirschner said, it's the same
Yeah.
bucket.
Yeah.
Same well, different bucket. See, Mike, I got you on that one.
Yeah.
But,
Watching from home.
yeah, well, I've never seen that either,
Yeah, it just
but this
says.
stuff happens.
Enclosed, please find a copy of the proposed application and journal entry with regards to the appointment of David LaRocco, attorney employed by Seneca County Job and Family Services as special prosecutor regarding a criminal investigation and possible prosecution relating to a matter investigated by said agency. This letter is to request a resolution from the board for that appointment, to handle that matter, including clerk services, process service, and investigatory assistance.
Okay.
So he must be an attorney out to the prosecutor's office. But I don't have details on what the,
Okay.
but yeah, we've done these before.
Okay.
Back to
All right.
And I got Jean's.
Jean's.
I have a resolution setting time, date, place to receive sealed bids, request for proposals for the Seneca County Common Police Court Case Management System. This will be for Thursday, March 5th, 2020, at 10 a.m. here at the Commissioner's office.
a motion, we approve new businesses discussed.
Second, any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Kirschner, Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes. All right. Comments, public input. Anything to add today?
Nope. Yeah, I thought Ben was gonna go. Usually he jumps right up there, but
Nothing.
good. Okay.
Update coming shortly, though. We'll have some good news shortly.
Good, all right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Kevin, good to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Yep, thank
You're
you.
adjourned.